What's going on, guys? Happy weekend. What a week. Shit. uh, the Dirty Dow basically led us the way. Let's just take a look from the week, starting from Monday. We can sort of discount some of the pullback that came in here because there's a lot of support. And again, when you look at the overall market, we were already here, right? We were already here basically to start. Um, and so even though we had sort of a knee jerk from Monday to Tuesday, which was a little surprising. Again, this was the tech sell off. Tuesday we had the tech sell off. It wasn't really much of anything, and it actually sort of allowed us to entrench our value play a little bit more. This then carried into mega camps getting a lot of bid, which obviously we jumped on, took a part of, and really yesterday culminating into putting all the pieces together, seeing that obviously there's just a significant amount of money being put into this broad based get exposure to everything, get derivatives for consistency, everything idea. We did have some volatility with pharmaceuticals, with IP temporary lifting and things like that, which is definitely was interesting to handle. But otherwise, you could basically buy fucking anything. Let's be honest. A lot of what we looked at obviously did very well, and this is where also you can start to remove some of the individual ideas and start to put it more broad based. And you could say, well, if you just traded an index here, you're doing well. And especially when you look further into the future, wow, I'm trading the Dow. I'm doing great. Like these things start to mellow out in terms of mattering as much, and it's much more about just being in and being a part of the move. This is where if you're today, we're wondering, oh, I wonder what I should do with my money, and you're sitting on cash, you probably have made some mistakes leading up to this week, right? If you were wondering if you're sitting on cash, what am I doing? You probably have made a lot of mistakes up to here, and you can really fix that by just getting in and involved and not going, well, I missed it. So I'm pretty sure that we're just getting started today with job numbers. That was quite the surprise. Completely surprised. Now, whether or not we can say that, again, this has anything to do with what may happen sort of next, and whether there's actually a labor problem. Again, this could be less of a. Again, there's 6.1% unemployment. It could be that there's not enough jobs. I'm not exactly uh, on that boat. I don't believe that at all. That's kind of ridiculous when we know that we need to be picking up in a lot of different sectors. Sure, people are from COVID have reevaluated themselves. Companies have reevaluated the way in which they work and operate, but the idea that we don't have jobs is probably a little futile of an idea. So I don't think anyone's winning too many arguments there. Surprising numbers nonetheless. And so even then, what happened this morning, and this is again today, really shows off how strong the equity market is and how little little does any of these sort of shocks actually slow us down. Banks opened up about 2% lower. Yesterday we had a great day. Overall, they opened up about 2% lower. You know what happened at the very start of today? They were bought back right to the close instantly. Literally instantly. Some good examples if we just look. Goldman, which we've been trading, opens up almost 2% lower, instantly trades up, right? Bank of America. This is a pretty disgusting candle, is it not? Instantly back up to the close of yesterday. This is the most important part towards if there's not a labor market coming back. Because again, the whole discussion is that the economy is picking up, jobs are picking up. That would mean that Fed's meeting its mandate, interest rates go up, which is fucking great for banks, right? And this whole idea, well, this would be pretty negative news, wouldn't it? Well, yeah, we're opening 2% lower on the entire banking sector. 5 minutes later, it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter 5 minutes later. So this shows that it's not it's not just investors that are switching their portfolio. And we did have some rumblings in the bond market, but the banks themselves bought it. They believe in exactly what's going on. They have an understanding of what's going on. And again, this is where we should trust companies. We need to trust companies in their understanding because they're the ones a part of it, right? We're on the outside. This move here solidifies the whole thing for me. Again, look at the Dow. I mean, everything with derivative, anything on the value side did very well. Mega caps did well. We had things like Microsoft didn't do as good. Never like there's a little bit of a mix there, but again, uh, it's definitely on the growth side, led by mega caps. There were some surprising moves here today to start the day. Those did fizzle out, like I talked about. Um, however much that sort of changes the sort of I don't know the trend out of the below here. We'll see, but we're not taking any of these trades anyway. So things like net was basically at the top of the list, up 10% at the start of the day. They trended all the way down from there, which this still did about 4%, which is pretty damn good, and really out of nowhere. And you can see this in a few other tickers, things that like we were looking at. This actually held. This is going to take some time to digest, and I think when you look at some of those tickers, which we would call very like risky ideas on the growth side, specifically like um, uh, the software companies that we were looking to be risky with short term plays, they're short term vol, and they're not really the ones that are going to be added to a lot of these ideas. And I think they need to consolidate quite a bit. And so next week is really going to be about finding out clean energy and these other growth tickers. Maybe things that are on the value side, they're not tied to commodities or dividends and are not cash heavy. So this could be very small cap specific. We need to be watching those and see what exactly is happening because they could get left behind if this move here just continues. This opening move here from anything on a blue chip sort of idea, it looks like the orders that were just going to be placed no matter what just went through anyway. Even though you'd usually think that with news like we got this morning that you would change. No, nothing changed. I saw a thing on all major newspapers. I saw the same article. Some of them popped up on the opinion page, some of them just on the side column. That popped up talking about how this morning's job surprise throws like a wrench in portfolios. Like, how are we going to deal with it? This was all right during pre-market that all those articles came out. Like, oh no, how is the market going to react now? Everything we knew about the reinflation trades off now. It obviously none of that fucking mattered, right? And it's not like, oh well, maybe Monday we'll price it in. That's not how this works, right? You don't just keep buying billions and billions of dollars long unless you have a belief in it. And especially here, especially when you start from the open and you never stopped. Momsky talked about like the HT chart, right? All of these Dow tickers that just have a fucking straight line for a chart. I mean, half of them all look. Obviously they all look like this somehow, but half of them all look like this, right? This straight line, right? United also in there, right? This has just been going and ongoing, right? We have some sectors that have been doing this, and now we have everything converging this way. Growth is the only thing swinging back and forth, and you can see it again today where, this had a great day today, about 1%. But you can see it intraday. The difference in the movement here, right? This, which is what we would call healthier price movement, but a trend is healthy as well. A trend is constant support and it's consistency in and when there is consistency in a trend, you can start to set up orders in a much better way. You don't need to be worrying about too much buying, too much selling, and so you don't get this price movement. You get this very straight line sort of trend mentality that the whole trend line is just this constant sort of buying, and that lets you separate orders, do these periodic orders very very cleanly, and you sort of know what you're getting into while you're doing it, and you're also getting an expected return with no volatility, right? And so really all these ideas come down to no volatility, constant return, guaranteed return is the word people want, which is again what the bond market does, but it's not offering it right now. Rates are negative. I mean, yields are negative basically. Real yields are negative if inflation rises, which it is. So um, the market is in all out obviously buying mode, and I think we've obviously done probably better than most in terms of understanding how to switch gears a little bit and continue. If you haven't been a part of that boat, um, and you're trying to still maybe figure out your own ideas and stuff, I mean, that's okay. Sometimes you're going to catch them, sometimes you're not. But Again, there's things in front of you that are very consistent and continue to work, and people are making money. I'm making money. People are doing these trades. There's a reason why prices are going up. People are making that trade, right? Another example I want to use here is, again, this X trade here. This is another Friday. This is another Friday that we take this trade, and you get the points during the day, and now you have a 7.5% basically base. If you weren't already taking this trade again, from this very quick stop, this kind of trade here again, this is what we're trying to trade through, and these are ideas that we know and we're very confident with. You got to be able to take these trades and put money behind them, right? And especially when you have you have some confirmation on macro ideas, when then we do look at some of these individual companies and look at the options and try to find something there, you got to be able to really push and make these plays work. That we have experience with these, right? This is not random. This is not like yesterday I go, oh wow, look at there's something going on here. This is like something we've been doing for months, right? So again, this is a play you probably, if you've missed and you've looked at it plenty of times, find out what it is you're missing by looking at it. Same thing with if you're just not sure about the market. Figure it is what you're not sure about in the market, right? What is it that you're not sure about? Right? There's got to be something there, and if you're not sure about what happens next, the thing that you can always do is look back. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what happens when you're all-time high. Just look back when you were at all-time high before, right? And it will give you some ideas, right? Energy had a great fucking day as well. Let me make sure we mention that. Actually broke through our level here. We're looking at climbing the ladder here. Next level's up here at 60 on XLE. We'll see what this again looks like for next week. And also, I just did this transition here that I talked about. And so today, this really does show sort of you can just sit in one long position and keep pushing it forever. But if you are trying to be a little bit more betting on speed with options, you need to find a place to transition. There is no such thing as timing the high or timing the low here, right? So you just you decide to make a plan and decide when you're going to take profit and then look to re-enter, but you don't want to be missing any time while it's moving, right? So I just did that transition, right? And now we've got all these points, fresh new points from new options, right? Those kind of decisions, now I have 3 more months. I have 3 more months again, right? And you just keep pushing that envelope. You gotta keep pushing it and not thinking, well, I don't know what's gonna happen 3 months from now. Like, who knows what happens in a month from now? Maybe it won't be up. Maybe I can buy it at a lower price. You'll be able to sell it before that happens, right? You're gonna do both of those things for sure. Like, you may change this next week and do something else, but if you don't take it now, then you're not gonna get the points now, right? And that's the big thing with this, is that some of you haven't traded this at all probably through the Dow, and this is still the most straightforward, simple trade, and you just sit in it. You don't have to actually do anything. And for some of you that are, I'll just be very critical here, and then we'll get out of here real quick, because again, there's not much to talk about. We can enjoy our fucking weekend, and it was well deserved, I'd say. For some critical thinking while we celebrate here, is that if you're trying to be a little bit too cute and you're trying to do some short-term trades, maybe you consider yourself some, day trader or whatever you want to say, you need to probably stop thinking in days and start thinking in months, in years, right? You buy something and then it's not going up in 5 hours and you go, fuck man, I got to get out of this. And you exit it and you start to do this like day-to-day mentality. Just because it's not moving, you're thinking too much about yourself, basically. You're really just self-imposing everything, and you're not actually thinking about the rest of us and what the market's doing. And so, do you know more than everyone else and everything? Probably not, right? And you're becoming just a little bit too much inwards thinking. You gotta go, okay, if I buy something here and I believe in it, for instance, this Dow thing, right? Then I'm gonna think about it in a yearly kind of way. I'm not for specifically this and what I've been talking about from yesterday. We're talking a yearly thing. I'm not talking about next week. When we talk about growth, we talk about next week. We talk about 2 weeks from then, which is already more than most people's time horizons. I'm talking about like a year from now. on this. I'm talking about a year, a trend for a year, right? And we need to be thinking like that because that's what the market's doing, right? And we can trade in a shorter term sort of way with options, but again, it doesn't mean we're trading short term volatility or something like that, and just trading every time there's a move, like from one candle to the next. That's not how we're still. That you're missing the point if that's what you think it's like, right? Where you're going, well, I'm gonna get the low here and trade it right up to this high, and that was it. And I'm gonna do it again here and do it again here. And you know what? Now that I know that, I'm gonna short it from here. Like that kind of shit is just not gonna work. I think there's plenty of people that still do that because there's a promise of a return. It's not gonna work. It takes a long fucking time to make money, right? Sometimes we get lucky and it's great, right? Some of us will get lucky. I've gotten lucky fucking plenty, right? Most of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for luck anyway. We were lucky to be born where we were born, right? And that we can be on here talking on a fucking dumb app and listening to me talk, right? So these things we got lucky, right? But we're not going to press our luck on these other ideas that take time, right? So build a portfolio. This weekend, think about how you can build a portfolio. If you don't know, buy the fucking nightly news Dow Jones, right? That's it. That's it. Um, Let me see what's in the profit real quick. Momsky plus a lot. There you go. Plus a lot. Nice job. Honestly, nice job. Big day. APTV, LUMN, CSCO, JPM. Nice. Definitely nice. Yeah, I do like that CSCO play. That's what I would pick up for contracts if I was buying today. So definitely nice. And LSU 2K. Okay. I didn't see Tesla move, but damn, nice gain. C traded with a 2000 as well. Awesome. Awesome. Spoon with not 2000, sorry, Spoon. It's good day. I like the qualitative answers. That's how I explain my day. So, being number specific's not always needed. All right, boys. That's all I got. I got nothing else for you. You already know what I think. I'm gonna go get. Yeah, I'm gonna go have fun. I hope you guys have fun. Celebrate. If you had a tough time, learn something. Plenty to learn. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. Um, I'm really excited to see how we continue here, and for some of you to get surprised. For hopefully all of us to get surprised. So I'll see you guys then. Enjoy.